Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. In your eyes lie the secrets I don't wanna miss. Put your hand in my...
Where should we begin? A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. What happened to you? Did your balls fall off? Hi, this is Trey Passer, and this is my worst of 2012. These are the films that I actually saw, okay, and these are the worst of what I saw. Like some of these movies I saw and I didn't mind, but I know that they're not that good. To put it to be perfectly honest, okay? Okay, and I purposely go to see movies that I think there's some. When I go see movies that I have an interest in, of course, and movies that I've never seen, of course, and movies that I think there might be something to it that I might enjoy. Okay, and for the most part, I think I've been pretty good with that. But then there are also, movies that just for whatever reason, just disappoint me. So these are my worst of the movies that I've seen. Okay, and there's no particular order for these. I was trying to think about doing it that way, but I think that is leading me to more head scratching and to put them in order of badness. And I thought that would be just too much. But nevertheless, let me go on my list. And I have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies on the list, and 2 honorable mentions. I'm gonna do the top 2 honorable mentions because these are movies that I haven't seen, but I knew they were going to be horrible going in, so I didn't bother seeing them, and I have no desire to see them. Okay, that's My Boy, the one starring Adam Sandler and the guy Adam Sandberg, I guess from Saturday Night Live, where he plays his father. I saw the trailer for it, and I just knew going in, when Adam Sandler started talking in that baby voice, as a grown man, that it's going to be horrible. Okay, that's just an excuse for them to act like drunk idiots, which normally is not a bad thing. But I just knew from the trailer it looked horrible, okay? So I'm glad I didn't see it. Okay, and the other movie is an Eddie Murphy movie, 1,000 Words. I saw the trailer for it, and I said, oh my God, Eddie Murphy, you have sunk that low. Just please, okay? At least be more selective. I don't think you have to act for the money, okay? So please be more selective. Stop taking every piece of crap somebody hands you, okay? Do quality projects like you did when you did Dreamgirls. I thought that was a great comeback for Eddie Murphy. And if you stick to that and you pick a decent movie, it's done, just please, okay? No more 1,000 words, okay? I'll put on Nash, none of that, okay? Okay, now, let's get to my list. Now, a long time ago on my channel, I did a breakdown of the James Patterson novels. He had a character called Alex Cross. He's a fictional detective who lives in Washington, whose wife was murdered, and he lives with his 3 kids, and his nana. Okay, and he's what they call I forgot they have a nickname for him, Alex Cross, the character, because the FBI draws him in to handle these high-profile cases and stuff, because he's like a Sherlock Holmes basically of the. And he handles all these bizarre cases. Anyway, he's described in the book as a young Muhammad Ali. Okay, and there were 2 movies before with Morgan Freeman, Kiss the Girls, and Along Came a Spider. Now, Morgan Freeman, the movies were decent, not fantastic. Okay, and like I said, Alex Cross is supposed to be a younger guy, and he's supposed to be described in the book as a young Muhammad Ali type of guy, like 6'4", something like that. Muhammad Ali type of guy. But the Morgan Freeman movies weren't the best, but they were okay. Now, we heard that Tyler Perry was going to... No, I heard they were remaking Alex Cross again. They were going to do an Alex Cross movie, another one, and then at first I thought they said Idris Elba was going to be Alex Cross. I said, oh, that's great. He was Luther before, and he's a really good actor, so that'd be great. But then I heard, no, he dropped out, and they put in Tyler Perry, and I said, oh my, I said, please. And then they said, oh, well, I think one of the producers put it this way. He said that, oh, Tyler Perry has an international following. He's going to bring more people than basically that's what he said. But I thought that was a horrible choice because first of all, Tyler Perry, I haven't seen him really act in any real dramatic role. I mean, I know some of his movies he plays he plays besides being Medea, sometimes he's a straight character, and he's an okay actor. But he's Alex Cross. I think you need a really good actor or a great actor, and I thought Idris Elba would have been perfect. Okay, but they picked him anyway, Tyler Perry, and I said, okay, well, I'll watch it to see what happens. And the movie was god awful. The best thing about the movie was Matthew Fox, who got into crazy shape to play the psycho killer. Okay, and the movie was just horrible. Basically, Alex Cross, played by Tyler Perry, and him and Ed Burns played his partner. They had like anti-chemistry. They were supposed to be longtime partners and everything else, but they had no chemistry whatsoever. Okay, and when the movie's just awful. When this is spoilers in this, okay? Because doesn't matter. This movie's gonna be out anyway in another 2 months, so this is a spoiler. When his wife gets killed, you think, oh my God, he's supposed to feel all this great emotion for him because his wife got murdered by the psycho, and I felt absolutely nothing. And I said, this is ridiculous. And like just the casting of Tyler Perry was absolutely wrong. And then the movie wasn't written, was horribly written, and just like I said, the best thing about it was Matthew Fox because he played a believable psycho, and just everything else around him was garbage. And Alex Cross was just one of just the horrible movies. And as a big fan of Alex Cross and the character in the James Patterson novels, I just hope one day they get it right with the casting of this. Okay. Now the next movie on my list, let me mark them off as I go along. So was Taken 2. Starring Liam Neeson. I heard that a while ago that they were coming out with a second part to this, and I said, "Oh, Taken was just perfect the way it was and the way it ended, and Liam Neeson was a total badass." But then you saw the trailer, and of course they hook you in, and I was praying that it would be good, but of course it let me down. And I did a quick review of it, and it was just a horrible story. The guys that he killed in the first movie, they come back. I guess their relatives come back, and they had this great plan, which was an awful plan, to get revenge, of course, against Liam Neeson's character, of course, by kidnapping Liam Neeson. I guess the plan was supposed to kidnap this whole family, but they wound up only kidnapping Liam Neeson and his wife. Okay, and then of course they had to later go and capture the daughter. Okay, in the meantime, they leave Liam Neeson alone to his own devices, and of course he escapes basically, and then he goes about getting his revenge against the rest of the family that came to get him. It was just a horrible concept, and the villain he had no plan. Okay, he had Liam Neeson, right, and I assume that was the plan, to get Liam Neeson. I mean, that's who killed all your relatives, and you had him, and you didn't kill him. Okay, oh, you had to kill him, the whole family together. You couldn't kill them individually. Once you had the wife and Liam Neeson, you could have just shot them and been over. But then again, it would have been a movie, right? If you'd have killed them right off and then went and killed the daughter. But just a total disappointment. Just a horrible sequel. Okay, now the next movie is Dark Shadows. The one starring Johnny Depp. This is based on the TV show that came out in the, I believe, late 60s, early 70s. Okay, about the vampire, Barnabas Collins. Now, growing up, I think I was about 4 or 5 when the TV show was on, and so I never saw it initially when it came on. But the Sci-Fi Channel started doing reruns of it, so I got kind of hooked on Dark Shadows and became a big fan of it. I even liked the remake of it. They did like a remake on NBC for 1 year, lasting 1 year, of Dark Shadows, which I really liked too. So then we heard about Tim Burton remaking it, and I thought, okay, well, this should be good. Johnny Depp's going to play Barnabas Collins. Okay, so I said, let me go see this. And, oof, this movie was horrible. The script was horrendous. I mean, it started out okay, and then, of course, they brought him to modern times, which would have been the 70s. Okay, and it just fell apart after the first hour, it just fell apart completely. Okay, even the presence of Michelle Pfeiffer, Chloe Moretz, what's her name, Grace Moretz, who played the young daughter. The script for the second half of the movie just sucked. it blew chunks, basically what it is. It's, like I said, it wanted to be a comedy, a little bit of horror, but mostly I think comedy, and it failed miserably, in my opinion. Okay, so Dark Shadows, horrible movie. Okay, even though I bought it, okay, because let's be honest, I like what's her name, Eva Green, so I bought it mostly because of her. Okay, and the next movie on my list is Battleship. Now, Battleship, going in, I knew this movie had a feeling this movie was going to be bad. Okay, what's his name? I can't forget the guy's name. Tyler, the guy that played John Carter. I can't remember his name. I'll put it over the video here. He was supposed to be like a screw up, of course, and of course his brother forced him to join the Navy, of course, which he joins no problem, of course, and of course then these aliens come out, and then they have to basically wage a battle against these aliens. Of course, they came down and attack, mankind, and of course it's up to the screw up to do the right thing and help save the day. And Rihanna's also in this movie. Taylor Kitsch, that's his name. Taylor Kitsch, I think that's how you pronounce his name. That was the guy. I'm sorry, but horrible. The best part of the movie to me was the battle scenes. Everything else was such a cliche. Liam Neeson's in it, but only a little bit in the beginning and a little bit towards the end. Okay, but horrible movie. Okay, Battleship. I mean, going in, if you basically know what it is, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. But I was kind of hoping it would be more than it was, and it wasn't. Okay. Now the next movie on my list is Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. I had such high hopes for this movie because I kept seeing the trailer by the two directors that did Crank. Okay, and I thought, okay, the trailers make it look good, what it was going to be. But another movie with Nicolas Cage overacting as usual. There's a cringe-worthy scene where he overacts. I'm trying to remember what that scene was. When he's trying to threaten somebody as a human. Not as Ghost Rider as you think he would to threaten somebody, but as a human, he tries to threaten somebody, and it comes off so cringe-worthy. I just, oh my, and just the whole climax of the movie was horrendous. And hopefully, I mean, this is 2 shots of Ghost Rider. I don't know if they're going to give it a third. Hopefully, maybe if they do give it a third, they'll get a younger guy, okay, and get a better script and a better director to do it. And because Ghost Rider is such a cool character. I mean, just the whole persona of Ghost Rider is such a cool character, but got screwed up twice, okay? Even though this movie is a little better than the first one, okay? But ultimately a disappointment. And anyway, the next movie on my list is Underworld Awakening. Okay? Starring Kate Beckinsale. Okay, this is the 4th movie in the Underworld series. Okay, this movie, first thing that I didn't like about it was Michael, the character of Michael, who was in the first and second movies. For whatever reason, they can get what's his name? Scott Speedman. That's the guy who played Michael. I don't think I was trying to read. I think I read somewhere where they said why they didn't get him to be in the movie. I don't know if he was filming Last Resort. That's the TV show he's on now. They got canceled at the time, or I think I read somewhere he said that they didn't ask him to be in it. I'm hoping he was filming Last Resort, and they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't hire him, because that would be a stupid thing. And you could tell that it's, I mean, they got somebody that looks sort of like Scott Speedman, and they shot him from a distance, so you couldn't really see him up close. Okay, and then they introduced the story about her being asleep for 12 years, and supposedly they made her and Michael mate, and they had a hybrid child and like I said, the only good thing about the whole movie was Kate Beckinsale looking good in leather. Okay, that was the only part of her fighting. But this movie was just a horrific idea, just a terrible idea actually. And hopefully, if they make another one, they'll get a better script, and maybe they can get Scott Speedman back, because they kind of end the movie with him escaping, so you don't see him. So hopefully, now that he canceled that TV show, maybe they'll actually ask him, or he can be available, and they can actually have him in the movie with him, his hybrid daughter, and Selena. But okay, next movie, let's see. Okay, The Bourne Legacy, which is really really disappointed me. Okay, this movie starred, of course, Jeremy Renner, and this movie is about another Aaron Cross. That's his name. Yeah, Aaron Cross. This story is supposed to be taking place simultaneously while Jason Bourne is still out there, and he's supposed to be another guy that's supposed to be, that they super training. I have all these abilities and stuff. And what disappointed me, there was a couple of things that disappointed me. The story was horrendous. I mean, they kept trying to tie it into the other movies by saying all these that the what's his name, Jason Bourne, his story was going on simultaneously as this story was going on, and they kept referring back to that, to Jason Bourne, I guess. And they had good actors. I mean, they had Ed Norton in there. I think that was her name. I can't think of the lady who was in the other movies that was in charge. I can't think of her name. They had a bunch of real good actors in the movie, but the story was stupid, and they made a big deal about Aaron Cross, like him and this lady scientist was on the run, okay, because apparently they wanted to shut down the program, okay, and they killed everybody except this female scientist, so they basically trying to kill her, and they tried to kill him because they wanted to shut down the program so nobody would find out, okay, so basically Aaron Cross and this female scientist they're on the run, okay, so they supposedly send somebody this other agent that's supposed to be off the grid, that's so top secret that there's no record of him. And he's supposed to be a total badass. They sent him after Aaron Cross. So you think, logically, that they were going to have a fight, maybe. That they're going to have a big clash, a big showdown at the end. But of course, they didn't. In fact, the female scientist wound up being the one to actually kill him. And I said, what the? I said, they did all that build up, Ed Norton, oh, this guy's off the grid. This guy is oh my God, this guy is dangerous. He's the top-notch guy. We're going to send him right after him, and then nothing. Then no fight, okay? I mean, I have the steelbook, so maybe there's deleted scenes or something that they actually show the fight. Maybe they did have a fight, and they decided to cut it for whatever reason. And then also, after they get away from this dangerous, unquote, off-the-grid guy, they show them on the boat the next morning, and then all of a sudden it just cuts off, and the movie just abruptly ends. And you're like going, what the... you're looking around. I mean, I think I was in the movie. I remember distinctly sitting in the movie. They would have cut off and looked around, and other people were looking around like, "Is that it?" And sure enough, that was it. So that was stupid. That was probably the most disappointing movie because I had such high hopes for this. Because unlike my good friend Emirati666, I love Jeremy Renner. I think he's a good actor, and it was just disappointing in Bourne Legacy. Now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got 2 other movies. Next one is Silent Hill Revelation. That came out 3D. Now, I'm not a big fan of the video games. I like the first Silent Hill movie a lot. I really did like it a lot. And this movie, going in, I didn't have that great of high hopes for it. And for the most part, it was okay. But I can be honest, the movie wasn't no work of art, okay? And like I said, I don't know the characters that well, okay? I thought the lead actress was okay, but everything else was horrific in it, okay? What's this guy's name? Kit Harington. I guess he was the male lead in this, and he's on the Game of Thrones. He plays the Battleship on Game of Thrones. What's the guy? I can't remember the character's name. Kit Harington. He plays on Game of Thrones. He plays Jon Snow, the bastard. Okay, and he's real good on that show on Game of Thrones. But he was just horrific in there. I guess because he's English and he was trying maybe an American accent, and that was affecting his acting, and just horrific. Okay, and I reviewed the movie and said it was okay, a few jump scares, but nothing to write home about. So it goes on the list. Okay, and last but not least is a movie that I know a lot of people liked for some reason, but I just thought I thought the premise of it was good, but the execution I thought was weak. Okay, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Okay, basically about Abraham Lincoln. This was before he became president, of course, and they saw, of course, that his mother was killed by a vampire, and of course he gets trained on becoming a vampire hunter while he runs for president, of course, and becomes president. And there was just too many silly things in it for me that just. Okay, the one silly thing when he's chasing the vampire, specifically when he's chasing the vampire that killed his mother, and he's basically chasing him down on horses, and I guess there's like a stampede of horses, wild horses, and he's basically chasing a guy. He's chasing a vampire on a horse, and the lead vampire's ahead of him. And of course, the vampire, being a vampire, he has extra strength, of course. So he picks up a horse and he throws it at Lincoln. Okay, that's okay, no problem. He's a vampire. Okay, we're going with this, and he's strong enough to pick up a horse and throw it, and then he hits Lincoln with it. Okay, he hits Lincoln with a horse, not a pony, not a donkey, a full-grown horse. He hits Lincoln with a horse. Okay, and Lincoln he just brushes it off and continues to chase. I'm going, wait a minute, what the frick? Is he immortal? What? He got hit with a horse, okay? And he still bounced right back up. And then towards the end of the movie, they have this big confrontation on a train, and basically him and his friend, his black friend, they're fighting on top of a moving train. Of course, none of them fall off. Of course, that would make no sense. They could perfect balance on a moving train, speeding train. That made perfect sense to me. Just not the most horrible movie in the world, but it disappointed me because it was just a few things in there I just didn't buy. Okay, so that's my list of worst of 2012 for me. And like I said, this is just my opinion of movies that I actually have seen. Okay, not movies I haven't seen. Okay, so I can't speak to stuff that I haven't seen. So these are the movies that I saw. Okay, that's what I'm doing with my list and my 2 honorable mentions. Okay. So let me know what you think, and feel free to leave your comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.